Okay, welcome back to Miss Curtis's art class. Today we are going to have fun making Salvador Dali inspired birds. So Salvador Dali was a very interesting artist. He had very dreamlike looking images. So things weren't totally realistic. Some of his clocks were melting, and you'll just notice when you look at these images that again, nothing is totally realistic. They were more of like a dreamlike state. So our birds today are going to be a little kooky and a little fun looking, just like as if Salvador Dali were to make a bird. And this is the perfect time of year to make birds. So we are going to get started. What you're going to need today is a piece of paper. I put two pieces of paper here together to make a longer piece. So if you're in school, you might have a longer piece of paper. If you're at home and you just have a normal size piece of paper, that's absolutely fine. And then you just need something to draw with. So today I'm going to be using a Sharpie marker to make my bird. So we are going to start by making our frame and name. So holding our paper nice and tight, going to make a straight line, going around the edge of the paper. And then I'm going to write my first and last name and homeroom number at the bottom right. Okay, so now I have my frame and name. Okay, at the top of the paper, that is where we are going to have our bird. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to make a U shape, and I'll show you how, for the body of the bird. So we are simply going to make an upside down rainbow shape, such as a letter U. The next step is we are going to make the head of the bird, and to do that, we are going to make a rainbow looking shape or an arch right at the top. And then a straight line that comes across. So now we have the start of the body of the bird. The next step we're going to do is we are going to make a beak for the bird. So the beak is going to be a triangle shape coming out of the front face of the bird. The next step we're going to do is we are going to give our bird an eyeball, which is just a little circle dot. The next step is we should give our bird some wings and then a tail. Okay, so I am going to make some feathers coming out of the back of the bird, which is just going to be a curving shape, just like so. And I'm going to give my bird 3 feathers coming out of the back. If you want to give your bird a couple more, that's okay. The next step is we are going to give our bird a wing. So to do that, I'm going to make a straight line, and then I'm going to make the number 3, so I'm going to go just like so. So it's 2 curves, like I said, like the number 3. And then I can come back and connect right there. So now my bird has a wing. Okay, so now to make these birds look a little fun and kooky, kind of like Salvador Dali would do, we are going to give our birds some really wiggly long legs. So to do that, we are going to make a curving line coming all the way down. Whoa! And we're going to give another leg to the right side, another leg, and 1, 2, 3 lines for little feet at the bottom. So now our bird has some long, wiggly legs. Okay. Now I would say it's time to add some color to our birds. So if you are at home and you don't have paints or watercolor paints, you can use crayons or whatever you have. If you are in school, we may be using crayons, we may be using markers, but I am going to teach you today how to use watercolor paints, okay? So watercolor paints are called watercolor paints because you need to add water to activate the paint so that you can use the paint onto your picture. Now, we're not going to just paint our birds in any which way. Today, we are going to use warm colors and cool colors to make our picture. So what do I mean by that? Warm colors are red, yellow, and orange. Cool colors are green, blue, and purple. So our bird, we are going to use cool colors. So you can paint in or color in your bird however you want using those colors. So blue, green, and purple. And then our background, we are going to play around with warm colors. So red, orange, and yellow. And they are going to look really neat next to each other. So it's going to give us some contrast, or the bird is going to stand out from the background. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to get my brush ready here. I'm holding my brush just like I would hold a pencil. Now, if I hold it nice and close, I'm going to have a lot of control. If I hold it further away, I can be a little more loose when I'm painting. So I am going to simply take some water and add it to one of my cool colors. So my cool colors are right next to each other, green, blue, and purple. And I'm not gonna mix these colors. I'm going to just give a drop or two of paint or water to the paint just to activate the paint. I'm going to swoosh my brush around and just wipe it a little bit on the side. Now I am going to start by painting in some of the feathers on the back of the bird. I'm going to use green. And green, again, is one of the cool colors. Okay? Now, if I want to switch to another color, let's say I want to use blue, I need to make sure that I wash my brush really well in between so that I don't bring any green into the blue. You really don't want to mix these within the palette or else they won't be as bright as they are now. So I swish my brush at the bottom, wipe it off, okay, dab it on the paper towel. If it comes up clear, I know I'm ready to go to the next color. Going to add some water to the blue. And if this water starts to get really dirty, you can obviously go up to the sink, rinse it out, and add some new water in. Okay, so now I'm going to add some blue to my bird. Oh, I like this blue. This is really nice. And warm and cool colors, they're called warm and cool colors because they make you feel warm or cold when you look at them. So when I see the color blue, I think of winter. I feel like it is a cold color. And I'm going to rinse, wipe off the brush. See, am I clear? Looks clear to me. And I'm going to add some water into the purple paint. And now I can add some purple paint. And it's a lot of fun when these colors blend a little bit. So notice I'm putting some purple paint into where I just painted blue. And you can kind of mix the colors. So now I actually have a purple blue color. Really pretty. So you can experiment with that. I am going to leave my beak. I am going to paint in my beak. I can paint it in whatever color I would like. So I think I'll do a purple beak. Okay. Now, maybe, I'm trying to think of what color to do my wing. Maybe I'll do my wing green again. Looks clear. Go to the green. Cool. Oop, that's spread out a little bit up there. That's okay. So now I painted in my bird. I am going to go switch my water because this is getting pretty dark and pretty dirty. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to work on the background and show you how you can make a really neat background by using the colors red, yellow, and orange. You could start the bottom off red, or you could start the bottom off orange, or you could do yellow. You can mix it however you want. I'm going to change it as I go up, and I think it's going to look awesome. It's going to look like a very bright sky, maybe in the morning or in the evening. So it might even look like a sunset or a sunrise, maybe a sunrise. Okay, so I went and switched up my water and it's nice and clear again. So I am now going to start my background, and I'm using the warm colors, which are red, orange, and yellow. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm holding my paper and I'm going left to right, staying inside the lines to the best of my ability, trying to stay inside that frame, and I'm going to work my way up. Remember, we're going left to right, so not up and down. And if you look at the sky, this is the direction you would see. So I don't really want to be painting up and down. I kind of want to go with the flow, almost like if you think about the wind flowing left to right. Okay? All right. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to switch now to orange. And then I'm going to speed it up and you can start to paint in your background. So again, swishing my brush really good, getting any of that red paint off, wiping it on the edge, dabbing it on the paper towel, looks good. Going into the orange. And you don't have to go in order. You could have went to yellow if you wanted to. And I'm going to mix some of the color on the paper as I go. And that's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up and I can't wait to see how your picture comes out. Okay, so I finished painting in my background and you can see that I used all the warm colors and then the bird is cooler colors. And I really actually like the way that it blended together. So you can see that the blue and the purple kind of blended together. The green went a little bit out of the wing area and blended. And that's what's really fun about watercolor, is that it will tend to blend together and layer in a very interesting way. So I hope that you had fun making your Salvador Dali looking bird, your little kooky bird. And I hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit about watercolor painting. And I'm looking forward to next week's lesson with you. So